All right, continuing with this film reel trace, we're working on this drawing here. So remember, this is a drawing. We brought it in as a template, and now we're tracing on top of it. We can see the preview, we can see the outline view, we can turn the template off, we can see it and see how it looks when it's all by itself. Okay, so we got every possible method for seeing how this works. Now, what I want to do next is I want to copy this one and bring it up here, and then copy it a third time and bring it over here. So let me do that, and the method is to first make sure that the whole object is selected. Can you see those little white openings there? That means it's not fully selected. So click once, and now all the anchor points are red. You can see that a little better if I press the Command key. Okay, I've got them all selected. I want to rotate this around this center axis. We've done this before too. Okay, with it selected, completely selected, use the rotate tool. Now, instead of rotating around this center, rotate around the center of the whole object. Okay, so I click once, still using the rotate tool, just move away from the center, and you'll see you can drag it around. And now it's dropping over here into place. I just need to remember to use the Option key to make a duplicate, and then let up with the mouse. If I look at that in preview, you can see what I just did. Pretty good. Okay, now I want to do that again. Look, I don't have to change tools or do anything. The center's still ready to go. Just drag it on over again one more time. And again, keep in mind this was a hand-done drawing, and so it's not lining perfectly for this last item here. Hold the Option key, let up. Your drawing is going to be better. It's going to be better than the hand drawing. Okay, again, I'll look at it in preview. Now you can tell this is supposed to be white, so I'll change it to white. And there you go. There's the drawing, and there's what we've done so far with our Adobe Illustrator drawing. Good. Okay, next, you probably want to save here. Next, I'm going to make this shape. And there's a lot of different ways to make this shape, and I always end up having to kind of mess with it to get it just perfect. But I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to start in the middle here with the pen tool. Make sure that I've got everything deselected. Shift Command A. And then change my fill color back to black as I get started with the pen. Okay, and here's how I do it, and you may think of other ways to do it. If you come up with the same good result, I'm all for it. I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to click here and drag and make a little curve. Okay, then I'm going to come all the way over to here. I'm going to click and drag and hold my Shift key so it comes out perfectly level. And I'm just going to make a nice smooth curve out of that. Okay, so it kind of comes up and then makes it, and then it flattens out. Now remember, we're changing angles here, so I'm going to click a second time. Click. And again, to do a perfect vertical, hold the Shift key down. You got it. Okay, come back over to here. Let up with the Shift key, click and drag, and just do a nice flat curve along the bottom of that shape. Okay, no shortcut keys on that one. Okay, then I'm going to come back down here. I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to pull out a little soft curve right here. Okay, now I want these two objects to combine into one. And we'll do that next. Okay, so we've got the film reel. Looks pretty good. There may be a little editing to do here if you need to change the shapes of any of these curves. Remember, the white arrow is the one to do it with. You can try making that curve a little more angular if you like. That looks pretty good. Down here, maybe come up a little bit with this one. I don't know, I think that looks pretty good. I maybe could even pull that down a little bit this way until it looks really good. All right, now I've got that shape. It's sort of tying into this shape. So I'm going to click on the black circle. I'm going to click on the black film reel, and I'm going to go to my Pathfinder panel, and I'm going to unite both of those together so they become one shape. Now, when you do that, what it does is it sends everything forward. Now, obviously, that's not what we want, so I'm just going to go to my outline view, and I'll select all the other objects that should be on top here, and then I'll return them to the front. This is where a right click really works well. Just return everything, bring to front. Let's see how that looks. That looks better. Okay, if you select them all at the same time, they'll stay in the same order that they were drawn. They'll just all come forward. Okay, all right, so now you can see I've got a single shape for this. Now that's a single shape. Okay, if you want, you can, again, kind of mess around with the curves and stuff until you feel really good about it. I always have a little trouble with that little bump right there, so I'm just going to bring that back up. I know it's not exactly like it was originally drawn, but for my eye, it looks better if it's not got this big bump hanging down like right here. I'm just going to bring that maybe out a little bit, or even turn this curve a little bit, maybe here. And then that's starting to look a little better. Okay, turn off your background image, the template, and you can make a better judgment of that. You remember I was saying in class that Milton Glaser once said that an illustrator knows when to put the photographs away and just make sure it looks good as an illustration. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, trying to make sure that this looks good as an illustration. All right, to me that looks a little better. Still a little funny right here, so I'll bring that on up. Okay, just trying to make it look really, really good. Okay, remember you can turn your template back on. You can look at your outline view. You can see now that what we need is to, actually there's a couple little circles right in there that I almost forgot. I'm going to zoom in on that. Go to my outline view. These look like they're probably in white, so I'll just make a circle this way. Hold the Shift key. If you need to reposition, remember you can use your space bar and just find that kind of the center there. Okay, that should be in white. Okay, back to outline view. I need a second one of those, just like the first. I'll bring it over here, hold the Option key down, and now I've got two of them, and you can see how that looks. Again, repeat that circle and it builds unity and makes it look a little stronger. Okay, now we've just got some type to do, and I'm going to cheat a little bit on this type. I don't always like using stretch type, but it looks like this is pretty stretched. So we'll go up here and try to find a font that works for this. I'm not going to try to put it right in position. I'm just going to click, just a single click right there, and go and look for my font choices and see if I can remember which one works best for this. Actually, I think any of these big bold fonts will probably work. The Arial Black, seems like there was one that I really liked for this, if I can remember what it was. Oh yeah, the Gill Sans. I think the Gill Sans probably is the best choice here. Okay, I'm going to type in all caps the word visible. Just the word visible, okay, because I want to size it just so, and I'll show you what I mean. This is going to seem a little weird, but I want to size it so that it's the same size as that film. Okay, I'm going to bring it down, holding the Shift key till I get it up to the height wise just right. Tap it with my arrow keys, maybe stretch it a little bit wider this way, holding the Shift key during this first part just so I make sure that it stays in the original design. Okay, and I want it to be about the height of that film reel. Now, if you need to, you can zoom in. Come on, and on this side, again, hold the Shift key until you get it so it's just about perfectly high, the same height as the film. You can even lap it over the film until you get it just right. I'm holding the shift key down on every one of these adjustments until I get it just perfect. And now you can see that I've got the word visible there exactly the same size as the film reel, or as the width of that film. Okay, I'm going to bring it up here, and now I'm going to stretch it out. I'm going to stretch it all the way over to here. And with that extreme amount of stretch, and this particular font, it actually does okay. I don't usually recommend that, but in this case it seems to be still pretty legible. Okay, now I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to hold the Option key down. Then I'm going to let up with my mouse and make a second copy of the word visible. Now, why am I doing this? Well, it's so that now when I select this type, it's got the stretch, it's got the size. All I need to do is type the word man, and I've got the second line there. You may be able to do that by just hitting the return key, but I like having the option of selecting each one of these separately and kind of tapping it around until it's just it's in the position that I really like it. Okay, so there you go. Now, if you decide, oh, I really didn't do that quite right, you can select both of them, and you can stretch it a little bit more this way. Now, be careful. If you stretch it this way, it'll change the size height-wise, but you can stretch it side to side without having to worry about changing its height. Okay. Now, this is one of those rare occasions where I don't insist that you hold the shift key while you're scaling type. It seems like it works okay in this case. Now, I do want this to have the same fill as this blue over here. Now, in case you've forgotten which color you clicked on, remember you do have an eyedropper, and you can just click on the blue, and then the type will match the blue that you have there. Turn off your template, take a look at your final product, and that's how we do the film reel logo.